This series is my story of our girls' trip from Florida to Idaho for the Teton Overland Show and back. We've covered more than 2,500 miles in the first 3 episodes. We made it to Idaho Falls last night, and that's where this episode begins. On Friday, we spent the day at the Teton Overland Show in Idaho Falls. Be sure to check out our video about the Teton Overland Show. We'll include a link in the description. We had been to the Overland Expo Pacific Northwest just 3 months earlier, and that event was massive. But the Teton Overland Show was completely different. This was a much smaller event, and that made it feel more welcoming and more inviting. The vendors were much more relaxed because they were not having to try to accommodate huge crowds, and that meant that they had more time to spend with us. If you've not been to Teton Overland Show, you should make it a point to do so. On Saturday, we spent the morning at the Teton Overland Show, and then we made our way over to the Grand Tetons. Along the way, we found this really cool turnoff overlooking the Snake River. I always love going to the Grand Tetons. It's one of my favorite places. We were here last year, and during that trip, we did a river rafting expedition with Teton Scenic Float Tours. We will include a link in the description for the video we made about that tour. Well, good morning, guys. Sorry I bailed on you for a couple of days, just enjoying the Tetons. We left the expo and came over to the Grand Tetons, and oh my Lord, did we have some amazing camp spots. Make sure you keep your peepers on here so you can see the reels and such for the photos and videos of where we have been camping the last 2 days. 2 different spots, actually. If you want to know where they are, you can message me privately and I will give you the GPS coordinates for those 2 spots. Amazing views. And we just, I just took a couple of days to absorb all of that, so I'm sure you can understand. So as we're leaving the Tetons, we are heading southeast towards Steamboat Springs. Vanessa has found us another awesome spot that I'm sure is just going to be as amazing as the last spots that we've been in so far at Grizzly. And so we're looking forward to that. So we don't have as long of a drive. And yesterday's driving was all in the Tetons. We were just driving. Here and there and everywhere, and taking a lot of dirt roads, which I'm apparently on still right now. We went all the way to the top of one of the mountains across from the Tetons so that we had that amazing view for the evening sunset, and the sunrise was stunning. So this morning, after a great night's sleep in the middle of the woods on a mountain in Colorado, we drove down the mountain and then up another mountain to Strawberry Park Hot Springs, and took a dip in there for an hour or so. That was amazing. If you've never been out here by Steamboat Springs, Colorado, definitely check out that Strawberry Park Hot Springs when you're in the area. It was awesome. Definitely worth the $20 for 2 hours. If you go at night, you get to go swim naked. And if that's your thing, or you don't care about seeing other people naked, that's cool too. So they have that option as well. Let's see, we're headed to Creed now. I think we're gonna probably eat dinner there at a place and let somebody cook for us for a change. We're driving through Saguache. I'm sure I'm slaughtering the name of that town. And so we passed by this little place. This guy's got all these collector Jeeps out there and military vehicles that have been abandoned and whatnot, and he's got them all lined out in front of his shop. And Vanessa's like, we got to go back and get pictures with our Jeeps and of those Jeeps, and so we did. So make sure you stay tuned to see all those cool Jeeps and military vehicles. And I got up in the tank and was, pew pew with the 50 cal. That was pretty fun. sure you check out the reel later for those. Hey guys, good morning. So yeah, I got my hair up because I've had to do a little automotive repair on Valkyrie. This morning she was blowing coolant out of the area where the little hose connects into the overflow reservoir tank. I've got 2 clamps on her now and it's still dripping, so the temperature seems fine, but we'll just have to keep an eye on it. So we're still heading south. We're headed into New Mexico today. We're supposedly going to go to Roswell. So fingers crossed that Valkyrie makes it that far. We're going to try to stop at I don't know, a little automotive shop in Alamosa and see if they can take a look at it. So I stopped at a Jeep dealership in, what was that called? Alouette or Antoinette, you know, one of those places. And they had a dealership, a tiny little dealership. All the service guys had just gone on lunch about 15 minutes before I showed up. At any rate, their parts guy, I showed him the picture. He's like, yeah, if it's leaking at that little finger piece that sticks out that the hose fits over, if it's broken there, the whole reservoir actually has to be replaced, not just the top. He's like, there's really no way to fix that. So, you know, it seems like you're doing the best job that you can do with what you got, and we don't have the parts. Hey guys, good morning. So we had a rough night's sleep. Not only did we have people, but I had a rough night's sleep because you had a rough night's sleep. We had, oh my God, the Wildlife America around our Jeeps last night. So Vanessa had like 4 coons in her Jeep. They finally got one of her food buckets opened up. And I have inherited some field mice in Valkyrie. I don't know if they got out. If it's anything like the last time, they're still in my Jeep. So, oh my God, sorry. That was a hell of a night. Yeah, so they got into my bread. They ate part of one of my sponges. So I'm sure they're in there because it's nice and toasty and out of the weather. And I'll have to trap the bugger. So yeah, on top of the wildlife, the animals, we had wildlife humans coming in at like, I don't even know what time, on the Harley, with the music blaring. What time was that, Vanessa?
Well, it was at midnight.
Okay. Yeah.
Midnight.
Couldn't find
motorcyclist. 1 a.m. raccoon,
rain.
2 a.m. raccoon, 3 a.m. raccoon, 4 a.m. raccoon. And that was the last.
So Vanessa slept like a mom with a newborn.
Yeah. It's gonna be a fun day.
Yeah. Long day. A long, tiring day.
Is that gonna get fixed? Is that gonna get fixed?
We're just gonna drive, and that's the way it is. And we'll get to almost Waco, hopefully, sometime today. Hopefully Valkyrie holds herself together and a mouse doesn't crawl up my leg while I'm driving down the highway. That would be a bad thing. So you see up here, there's some little caves, tiny little caves. That's where those raccoon fuckers came from. And I'm sure their mouse friends are in the bushes too. But yeah, my mom just found remnants of the mouse in my glove box. I guess it was in there going through stuff. So at any rate, I have them in my Jeep. Vanessa says she doesn't think she has any mice in her Jeep, probably because the coons were all in her Jeep. And but we did have a lake view this morning, and we're about to bounce because it's going to start raining. Hey guys, so I'm at Star Chrysler Jeep and Dodge in Abilene, Texas, and thanks to Johnny here and my husband calling him, they took Valkyrie in. I had to stop in not Big Sky, I keep wanting to call it Big Sky like I'm in Montana, Big Springs, Texas, to pick up the part because this facility here in Abilene didn't have the part, but they did have the ability to put it in if I could get it. So we stopped and got the part that I think is the issue and brought it over here, and they're putting it in. I mean, Johnny got Valkyrie in straight away and they're working on there. It should be a pretty easy fix. Fingers crossed. That's the only issue. I do have some crazy brake grinding feel and sound, but I'll address that when I get home. So, update on Valkyrie. Sorry, I've had a emotional breakdown, lack of sleep. I haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon. And then the fun news of my rear end is out again. I just had it rebuilt for the second time, and the axle seals replaced, and all of that right before I left. Still got my 500-mile check-in in there, and anyway, not sure why that keeps going out, but the dealership is going to fix it for the low price of $1,300. Okay, so I got a room for the night for my mom and I, and Vanessa and Kelly got us some tacos, so I'm gonna try to eat that, even though I'm not hungry, but I know that my body needs some fuel, so I'll probably be a little less emotional once I eat. I sent them on ahead. They're gonna go to Waco tomorrow, and I will hopefully get to meet up with them in Louisiana at our next campsite after the dealership replaces my rear end, or my rear axle shaft, and gets that all fixed up. My reservoir tank for my coolant, they didn't even charge me to fix that, which was great. Johnny's been amazing at Star Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge. I had said I was having grindy brake issue. That's what I was feeling. I couldn't have imagined that it would have been my rear end going out again. It seemed to me more like it was when I came to a slow roll, or when I was leaving at a slow roll, that that was having that grindy issue. But apparently it was not my brakes, it was my rear end again, and that is very upsetting. Part of the reason why I'm so emotional. The other reason is, from the morning post, that we didn't get much sleep last night, thanks to the coons and the mice and the motorcycles and all that good stuff. So low fuel, low sleep, expensive issue to repair, and I'm still 1,400 miles from home.
Next time, I jump out of the frying pan and into the fire, and face what would turn out to be one of the worst days of my life. Don't miss our season finale, as adventure quickly turns to tragedy. The Girls Only Overlanding series is brought to you in part by iCamper, our personal favorite for rooftop tents; Extreme Jeeps and Trucks in Orlando, Florida; RCI Jeep and 4x4 in Melbourne, Florida; and by Star Jeep in Abilene, Texas.